principle of centralization. Well, Henry Fayol's this principle of centralization basically has two aspects to it. One is centralization and another is decentralization. So before knowing what are these two aspects, let us first understand what do you mean by centralization. Well, centralization means concentration of power and authority. So understand, in certain organization, all the authorities and powers are with one person or with limited few persons. On the contrary, there are certain organizations where the power of authority with everyone or most of the people. This rule or this principle states that there should be a nice balance between centralization, that the concentration of authority towards individual or limited people, or decentralization, that is concentration of authorities in the group. I'll explain this with a very nice example. Let's say in an organization, there is a centralization of authority happens with only one person. So for everything, for every decisions, every permission, every purchase, everything, what individual has to get approvals from the boss. What happens because of this? For every task, there is an interference of the boss. For everything, there is a questioning. For every permission, every completions, right? The whole process goes to boss. So there are likely chances that there is huge delay in implementing. Now there are certain situations which are handled at operational level, manager level, supervisor level. But since there is a centralization of authority, what happens? The whole decision making goes to the superior. So everyone has to explain the whole concept to him. Then he takes decisions. Then the implementation starts. So there are likely chances in that there is a lot of delay, huge delay happens. But understand, this kind of working is possible where the authority and power is with probably individual or limited people or top management, generally happens with small organizations. In big organization, there is a decentralization of power. So there are a lot of departmental heads who have given substantial powers so that they can take decisions on their own. But it has its own drawbacks. Even though the decision making can be faster than the centralized one, but there are likely chances that decision will not be in line with the goal of the organization. So individual will tend to forget the goal of the organization and try to take decisions which are out of the way. The gravity of the situation will not be understood. There are likely chances that every department will take their decisions on their way, and there might be conflicts happening. So organization's goal can be forgotten there. Hence, it's really not good that there should be centralization of power only, or it's really not good that there should be decentralization. What is the best choice? Based on the need, there should be an enough balance between centralization of authority and decentralization of authority. In simple word, well, what does Henry Fayol's this principle of centralization tells us? That centralization means the concentration of authority and power. In small organization, this concentration of authority and power lies with individuals or top managements or limited people. Where it is workable, fine. But in large organization, right, there has to be decentralization for effective working. But the best choice is that depending on the situations, this centralization or decentralization should be balanced properly.